any direction, they would know his position. He could hear them calling out, moving in a fan, he guessed. He crawled a few feet to the left and looked behind to where he hoped all his men had found at least a tenuous safety, and then stood up to go after them. He would sling Evans over his shoulder. The fire began to abate, and the moving shadows of his men seemed to fade in the direction of the farmhouse. He leaned over, ready to carry Evans, and in a flash of light from the fire, finding one more source of fuel, he saw his gunner was dead, sprawled and broken, beyond help, looking in death younger than his 18 years. The voices of the attackers were louder, sharper, moving in his direction. He would have to tell the boy's parents. Killed instantly, the usual comforting message. In this case it was true. He could see that. But there was another burst of gunfire. He could see a German soldier ahead of his mates, using the failing light of the plane to find the airman who had gotten out. With cold, numb efficiency, Darling took aim, heard his own shot as though from a distance, and saw the German crumple to the ground. After one last glance at rear gunner Evans, he bolted into the darkness after his men. Chapter 1. "God's teeth," Darling exclaimed, putting down the receiver. "Ames, get in here." Darling's youthful and indomitably cheerful second-in-command put his head round the door. "Sir?" "Saddle up, we're off to near Harrop. Local padre has found an old lady dead up behind her cabin in the woods somewhere near there. He said he didn't like the look of it." "I don't much like the look of dead people either," Constable Ames commented, turning back toward his office to get the keys of the 1940 four-door maroon Ford they used as a police vehicle, which he treated like a princess. Darling took his hat and jacket off the stand, straightened up the papers on his desk, and joined his constable where he waited in the hallway. "There goes lunch. Why do people always wait till just before a mealtime to call us? Do I have time to run downstairs to the cafe for a couple of ham and cheeses? It'd take 5 minutes." Darling hesitated. The prospect of spending the whole afternoon in the back of Beyond on an empty stomach was daunting. The old lady would not get any deader. "Yeah, go on. Get a couple of bottles of Coke as well. Come get me when you're done." Darling sat back down at his desk and looked at his list. If the truth be known, he was a little bit relieved about the distraction, because he had a call to one Mr. Dudley on his to-do list, and it was going to be tiresome. Might as well use this lull to get it done and out of the way. Preparing to be shouted at about the incompetence of the police department, which had not yet found Mr. Dudley's stolen car, and queried about why honest taxpayers should be forking out for his salary, Darling was reaching for the receiver when the phone rang, causing him to jump. "Darling," he said. "Sir, there's a gentleman here to see you, name of Jensen." The desk sergeant was speaking in a peculiarly studied manner. Darling frowned. "I'm just off to a suspicious death. Can it wait?" "He's a government man, sir," the sergeant whispered, and then loudly, "Very good, sir, I'll send him right up." "What?" said Darling, annoyed, but it was too late. He could hear the click of the phone on the other end. He took off his hat and placed it on the corner of his desk and prepared to receive the government man, whatever that was supposed to be, and wondered if it would take long. The man who presented himself was short and well-fed and encased in a dark suit. He had removed his hat, which he now held in his left hand, with a sizable briefcase, revealing thinning, slicked-back dark hair. He was offering his hand. Darling stood up and shook it. He was about to introduce himself when the government man said, "Flight Lieutenant Darling?" Taken aback, Darling said hesitantly, "Yes, as was. Just Inspector Darling now. With whom am I speaking?" "Yes, how remiss of me. Roderick Jensen with the Canadian government." He spoke in a posh British accent and smiled in an ingratiating manner that instantly put Darling on alert. "Please sit down. How can I help?" Darling went back around to sit on his side of the desk and waited. "I should mention," he added, "that I am just expecting my constable to return. We're going out of town in a few moments to investigate a death." "Ah," said Jensen,